Cancer, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts with a reading focused on the upcoming few days, starting from tomorrow, Friday, May 21st, all the way through Sunday, May 23rd. So let's go ahead and take a look at your weekend vibes here. Cancer, general reading as always. So ultimately what you need to know, what to look out for, and what it is that you need to be aware of when it comes to your connections, love connections, family, friends, however way it's going to affect you in the next few days. So I'm going to use these two decks here, both of mine, and this one is the Voices Volume 1, focused on the Divine Masculine, Voices 2, focused on the Divine Feminine. So let's go ahead and see, for those of you who are focused on love connections here for the next few days, what it is that you need to know. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Cancer. So where is the masculine at? I'm guided to this card. I should have just kept things platonic between us. Things got so complicated when we became more than friends. Okay, so you guys could have certainly started off as friends, but it progressed from that. It escalated. You guys turned into lovers, romantic partners, but we have a masculine here who might have regretted taking things in that direction. You know, I should have just kept things platonic. So let's go ahead and see what's up with that. So Divine Feminine, where are you at on this journey here, and what is it that you need to know for the weekend? Angels and spirit guides, please. Focused on Cancer. I am guided to this card. All right, so from the feminine, the thought of you kissing me always makes me blush. So there's something about the kisses, and maybe part of the reason why the Divine Feminine, it makes the feminine blush, is because more than likely you guys shouldn't have crossed the line. You should have just remained friends. There's something almost, I'm just feeling for some of you, take this only if it makes sense, it's almost a little bit embarrassing for some of you that it went in this direction. And so we have a masculine here who, again, is just regretting things and should have just kept things platonic. And maybe Divine Feminine, you know that too. You know, but there's also something about the way you guys were interacting intimately that could have been very passionate. But that's what's presenting itself here. You know, the need to just have kept things on a friendship basis, perhaps. So what's up with that? All right, so let's go ahead and add cards from other decks. I'm going to grab a couple messages from 3 other decks. Let's start with this one. This is by Sister Moon Tarot. This is the Sensual Sweet Angelic Whispers deck. So let's add to this, and then we'll go ahead and clarify everything with tarot. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Cancer. What do we need to know here? Should have kept things platonic. So maybe they definitely regret taking things further. I wish I could stare deeply into your eyes. So there is something about the kisses and how you guys would interact intimately. Let's grab another message here. I am afraid I will take this secret to my grave. So there's a secret here. So I'm getting this for some of you guys. And again, if it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, don't take this part of the message. You guys kept things a secret, that you became more than friends is what's coming through here. You didn't want other people in your circle, in both of your circles, to know that you guys were a couple, or that you could have been sexually intimate with one another. And so what's coming through here is that neither of you perhaps want to let anyone know that you guys are more than friends. That's just what I'm feeling. So take that if it makes sense, okay? So let's go ahead and add to that with a couple of messages from the Messages of Love Oracle Cards deck by All Things Intuitive. Became more than friends, but you guys kept it a secret. Should have kept things platonic is how the masculine is feeling. And maybe Divine Feminine, you know, when you see this masculine around friends or even family and you guys don't want anyone to know, Maybe that's why you're blushing, because you've got feelings and you're attracted to this friend of yours, and no one knows that you guys are actually more than friends. So let's grab a couple cards here. For Cancer, patience, everything will unfold in divine timing. So yeah, if things aren't progressing in the way that you'd like, despite the fact that maybe nobody knows that you guys are a couple, you guys are together, keeping things platonic, perhaps from the masculine standpoint, but maybe, wanting to keep things platonic and actually making sure you guys are platonic, maybe it's not happening. You guys are maybe still being intimate with one another, still seeing each other as romantic partners. You don't want anyone to know. And either yourself, Cancer, or the other person, maybe there's some real feelings that are developing there, but it's complicated. So you got to just wait and see how this goes. However, there's a reason why this is popping up. You see, you've got a warning here. Don't dismiss the red flags here. So part of those red flags could be that we have a masculine. So if you're divine feminine, and if you're feeling that the masculine here is pulling away from you, not being available, not returning calls or texts, and that's a red flag. And part of the reason why they might be distancing themselves is because they don't want anyone to know that this is a secret. They don't want it getting out that you guys are actually hanging out together, being intimate with one another, which is why we have a masculine in no uncertain terms saying it right here. I should have just kept things platonic between the two of us. Because once you guys crossed that line, it definitely turned into a very complicated situation. All right, so let's go ahead and grab a couple messages from the Angels of Romance Oracle by Jennifer Aquarius Tarot, and then we'll clarify with tarot messages here. Complicated, Cancer, complicated. So it's going to take time for this to unfold. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Cancer. What else do we need to know? Weekend vibes for Cancer. Look at that. Unrequited love. Do you see what it says? Not enough chemistry. So perhaps either of you, somebody had their own realization here that, and I can't help but feel that it's the masculine, that they now realize they shouldn't have taken it in that direction. They don't see the feminine in that way. This is not a long-term partnership, because it says there's not enough chemistry here. But here's the ironic part of all this. Look at this next card. We've got family, and it says happily ever after. Okay, this reminds me of like the Ten of Cups energy in tarot. A happy family, a happy life, marriage, the whole 9 yards, being happy with somebody in that way, falling in love, getting married, buying a house together, living your lives together for the rest of your lives, happily ever after, right? But you guys are not on the same page, and that's where the warning is. So if this is something that you relate to, Cancer, if this is what's going on in your life right now, maybe use this weekend to really assess the situation and to kind of take the rose-colored glasses off your eyes and to really see things for what it is. Because if you're not seeing it for what it is, you might ultimately end up getting hurt here, And I would hate for that to go in that direction. All right, well, let's go ahead and clarify it now. So I'm going to pull from my tarot teacher deck. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Cancer. So yeah, it's complicated. For lack of a better word, it is complicated. Friends that should have basically just stayed friends is what's presenting itself here. But I'm also feeling either you fell in love with your friend or they fell in love with you and you guys are not on the same page. So pay attention to that warning. Okay, so we've got a reverse card here. Let's see what it is. We've got the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so It's interesting because this can be someone who needs to let go of their fears. Okay, maybe that's something that you need to do. Maybe you've been afraid to really face what's going on here between you and this person. Maybe in your heart of hearts, you know that you guys don't have enough chemistry to make this work long term, to be, you know, a lifelong partnership, to get married someday, to have the whole happily ever after. You know, somebody, I feel it's either yourself, Cancer, or the other person who's afraid to, or was afraid to face this, but you know, the Four of Pentacles is letting go of that fear, shedding the old. That is a part of the vibe of that Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Some of you guys could have also been dealing with an earth sign here, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. So with this Nine of Pentacles, you're being directed to be self-sufficient, to be solo, to be independent, away from this connection. Look at this. You guys were lovers, okay? But the sexual attraction, it's here. However, you're being warned at this time because you guys are not on the same page. And the Lover's card always presents you with choices and decisions that need to be made. Perhaps use this weekend to come to a decision about this partnership. Yeah. Page of Cups. Maybe this is you. This is your own energy. There's something very curious about this Page of Cups. So maybe it is you that really wants to know how's this all going to turn out. You're not going to know. This weekend is not the weekend to find the answer. You're not going to have that clarity this weekend, which is why you're being directed to have patience. It comes down to divine timing, Cancer, and you can't rush that, you know? So here's the thing. You've got the Temperance card right there. Another card letting you know you got to be patient. It's not going to happen this weekend. Not this weekend. Okay? So you need to do some meditation and soul searching perhaps to figure out really where you stand, or at least your own interpretation of this connection, because the way it's presenting itself here is you guys are not on the same page. You don't want the same things. You have very different visions here. We have a masculine who prefers to keep things platonic. And divine feminine, I feel you know that too, but maybe you're just a little bit more invested than this masculine. So yeah, it's going to take time. There's a choice though that needs to be figured out. Maybe both of you need to really decide what it is that you want to do here, because right now it's coming through that it's just a secret. And that just does not have the proper energies behind it to withstand the test of time, you know? All right, so let's wrap it up here with one final message, advice from the angels and your spirit guides for the weekend. Cancer, this is by Angelic Revelation 144, the Sacred Self-Love Oracle. So what's the advice for you to focus on self-love this weekend? Angels and spirit guides, please, for Cancer. Do what you got to do to be able to love yourself, to empower yourself. Do not worry about impressing others. Focus only on your journey. Yes, indeed. Okay? Because it ultimately comes down to you. It is your journey, nobody else's. So don't give that power away to anybody, and allow your fears to dissipate. You know, you shouldn't care about what other people think about you. Just focus on what it is that you think about yourself. And that starts with you being able to find love within you. All right, so that's where I'm going to leave this one, Cancer. Very complicated indeed, but it's requiring you to have patience here. All right, so this weekend, again, it's not the time to figure all of this out. So perhaps some alone time would be quite beneficial here. All right, so that's where I'm going to leave this one, guys. If you're interested in your own reading, that info is down below. And I'll see you guys real soon. Have a great weekend.